I bet you didn't know how a young man from Corsica became one of history's greatest military leaders, Napoleon Bonaparte. A name that echoes through history. Who could have imagined his rapid rise, born on Corsica, a small island in the Mediterranean Sea? He was ambitious, a true military genius. He quickly climbed the ranks of the French army. France was in chaos. The revolution had just shaken the country. Napoleon saw his chance. He seized power in a coup. France was at war with its neighbors. Napoleon promised glory. He promised victory. The French people rallied around their new leader, a leader who promised to make France strong again. He was a masterful strategist. He reformed the French army. He introduced new tactics, new weapons. His soldiers were well-trained, well-equipped, and highly motivated. Napoleon led his armies to victory across Europe. Italy, Egypt, Austria, Prussia all felt the force of Napoleon's ambition. He wasn't just a conqueror, he was a reformer. He introduced new laws, he modernized the French state. He spread the ideas of the French Revolution throughout Europe. Napoleon's star was rising. He was becoming a legend in his own time. December 1805, the Battle of Austerlitz. A cold wind blew across the plains of Moravia. Two armies stood facing each other, the French army led by Napoleon and the combined armies of Austria and Russia. Napoleon was outnumbered, but he had a plan. He studied the battlefield. He knew his enemy. He would use the terrain to his advantage. The battle began. The Austro-Russian troops attacked the French center. They thought Napoleon was trapped, but Napoleon had anticipated this. He threw his reserve troops into the battle. Like a hammer blow, they struck the enemy's flanks. The Austro-Russian lines crumbled. The battle was a decisive victory for Napoleon. It is considered one of his greatest triumphs. The Battle of Austerlitz cemented Napoleon's reputation as a military genius. 1815. Napoleon returned to power after being exiled to the island of Elba. He escaped. He returned to France to reclaim his throne. The European powers were not going to tolerate this. They formed a new coalition against him. Napoleon knew he needed to act quickly. He raised a new army and marched north to meet his enemies. June 18, 1815, the Battle of Waterloo. The French army clashed with the combined British and Prussian armies. Led by the Duke of Wellington, the British were a formidable opponent. The battle raged all day. The French fought bravely, but the British held firm. Then disaster for Napoleon. The Prussians arrived. They had marched all day to join the battle. They attacked the French right flank. The French army, exhausted and outnumbered, finally broke. Waterloo was a crushing defeat for Napoleon. It was the end of his rule. He was exiled again, this time to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. He would never see France again. Napoleon Bonaparte. A complex and controversial figure, he was a brilliant military strategist, a ruthless dictator, a reformer, and a dreamer. He left an indelible mark on history. His conquests spread the ideas of the French Revolution across Europe. His legal reforms, the Napoleonic Code, are still used in many countries. His military campaigns are studied in military academies around the world. Napoleon's legacy is one of both greatness and tragedy. He was a man of immense talent and ambition. He rose to the pinnacle of power. But his ambition ultimately led to his downfall.